Today, I'd like to talk to you about the importance of reading and self-education. Reading matters. Not just reading to finish a book or an article, but reading to understand it. That distinction matters because the ability to read deeply is becoming a lost skill. Most people don't read much anymore. They watch videos. They skim headlines. They'll absorb summaries instead of ideas. Now, that's not to say that videos aren't useful. Say you're learning how to fix a broken object, to cook something, or to run a program. Like when I do things for photography and I'm learning how to do something on Photoshop or Lightroom, I absolutely will watch a video and follow along, as it's a lot easier to learn that way versus reading about it, then going over to try to do it. At least for me. There are some people that still find reading to be better. But reading does something different to your mind. Reading is interactive. It forces you to slow down, to think, and to engage. It helps you focus on one singular task, which is also becoming a lost skill, the ability to focus on a singular task at a time. That's due to today's society. There's so many things that easily distract you that one can lose focus relatively easily. When you read books, especially ones on history, philosophy, on psychology, on economics, on business, or even biographies, you're not just consuming information, you're building understanding. History teaches pattern recognition. Business teaches decision making and risk. Philosophy teaches you how to think clearly. Psychology teaches human behavior. Biographies show you how real people navigated failures, pressure, and responsibility. That kind of learning sticks better when it's read, not just watched. And especially when it's coupled with note-taking. Even more so when it's on paper and not some type of electronic device. But reading alone isn't enough. If you really want to learn, you have to read actively. That means taking notes and using a dictionary. Yes, an actual dictionary. If you come across a word you don't know, don't skip it. Write it down. Then look at your notes when you're done. Go through the words that you didn't know. And then write them down. with the definition. And then here's something I will also do. I will write that word using it correctly in just a short sentence. And that process helps lock it into my memory. And it's reading and understanding words and their definitions are a perishable skill, so it's something you have to practice. So you must also use that word in your day-to-day language. Because if you really want to confuse somebody, my favorite thing is you can call them an idiot or a jackass. You can do all these things. But what better way to really get at somebody, I feel, than to say something to them in a manner to where, you want to insult them, that they have to go look up what it is you just said to them. Because now they're going to have to learn something new. So, just for me, that's more fun than calling somebody some kind of fun name. It's like, I'm going to make you go learn something. Now, I do all this on paper. Not on my phone, not on a tablet, not on the computer, but on paper. Studies consistently show that writing by hand improves comprehension and retention compared to typing. When you write something out, your brain processes it differently. There's also something else happening. When you sit with a book, a notebook, and a pen or pencil, you're stepping away from the constant distractions, the constant noise, the constant interruptions. So when you read and you're taking your notes, have your phone in another room or turn it off. That matters more than people realize, because when you can't go like 10 minutes at times without some kind of noise going off on your phone, even if you're still reading, that noise will distract you. That's why even when you sleep, they say to have your phone either turned off or into another room, because even just random or do not disturb, because the notifications will disturb your sleep. Taking time away from screens is good for your mind. It gives your nervous system space to settle. It helps you focus. It helps you think. Reading also teaches patience, which is something that is another skill that is rarely practiced anymore. We live in a world of immediate gratification, fast content, fast opinions, fast reactions. Reading forces you to slow down. And choosing to slow down in a fast-paced world is a skill in itself. When you do that consistently, you start noticing more about yourself, about other people, and about how things actually work. This world wants opinions formulated immediately. But to have a true opinion on something, especially one that matters, it takes time. It takes deliberation. takes evaluation. Writing is just as important. I often write out my ideas on paper before I do anything with them. I find I can think more clearly that way. Ideas feel less scattered and more organized. As I keep my notes here and write out scripts that keep me focused on what I'm talking about. I also keep journals I write in regularly. That's been helpful for me personally, especially dealing with CPTSD. For those who don't know, that's complex PTSD. I don't talk about that much. Not because it doesn't matter, but because I don't believe my problems define me. And I'm aware that there are plenty of other people who've had it worse than I. That doesn't mean it doesn't matter at all, especially to me. Maybe I'll cover that in a separate video someday. But not today. My point is this: reading, writing, and self-education, they're not about being smarter or better than other people. They're about being more grounded, more patient, and more aware. They help you think instead of react. Understand instead of assume. And grow instead of stagnate. They help you become more than the person that you were the day before. If you take anything from this, try something simple. Pick one book. Read it slowly. Don't just rush through it. Take notes. Look up the words that you don't know. Write them down. Practice those words. Use them in your conversations, even if you just practice a conversation with yourself. Try it for 2 weeks. 2 weeks is generally enough time to start acclimating to a new habit. And I think you'll be surprised about how much clearer things feel when you do. Come back and tell me how it has worked for you. I am interested in hearing. I hope you found this video to be helpful.